back about Stubbs Bricks and another episode of building Gotham City in Lego. And a clear base plate means one thing: we're going to be doing another building. When we started the city, one of the first buildings we made was the Gcpd. Originally it was rectangular, then we went over to the shape of a flat iron building because we wanted more character in it. However, that isn't what I want it to look like. So the flat iron building, or that shape building, is going to stay. However, it's going to be a different building within the city. So it might just be a generic skyscraper or the Gotham Gazette or something like that, but it will get used. I want to go back to a rectangle building on here. I saw a really good video on Beyond the Brick of somebody that made a police station based off of the Gotham TV series, and what inspired me, that was what inspired me for the very first attempt at this. So I'm going to go back to that design, and I've had a load of pieces I ordered in a while back for doing this, so we're going to make a start on that today. The only thing I need to decide is whether or not I make this building sort of like the full base plate or just sort of like 2/3 of it. So I just want to have a play with the layout, see how it's going to look, and then we'll go from there. But let's stop talking and let's get building. And here is the base for the Gcpd. So this is how big the building's going to be, the footprint of it. I've placed the bricks on a 2-wide row of plates, and the reason for that is we're then going to be putting snot bricks along here and then doing some brick effect on the snot bricks. So I just need to raise it up by 1 level so that once this is all tiled here, I can get the tiles onto the lower level of the snot bricks. So we're going to build a couple of the rows up on here, and then we'll start building the snot bricks around the edges. The building is going to be up against the fire station, so I don't need to do 2 skins on that wall, hence it's only 1 wide. And on this end, I will have it so you can see there, because I want an extra angle for the Gcpd looks wise. So this side here would also be exposed, and at the back that's going to be the car park, and I'm not sure whether or not that's going to be covered over or not. However, I have made it so that it's going to have a second skin there because I don't want it to be brown on the outside at all. So let's carry on building that up, and we'll check back in once we've got some progress made. Here is the first attempt at the lower part of the Gcpd. As you can see, put all the snot bricks on the outside of the lower level and the brown on the inside. Put a few snot bricks along the bottom there, and that's going to be for the skirting board to go on there. Just need to decide whether or not I want the door here or whether I would sooner have it more central. It'd be nice to have 2 windows in on one side. However, if I put the door central, then I will move a window either side. As before, we're going to have the prison cell against the wall here. So the holding cage, sorry. So that's going to come out, so I need to leave that an area for that. And over here is the rear exit, which will lead out to the car park, or where the police cars are going to be. On the rear of the building here, we've still got to decide how we're going to be doing this. I've brought the snot bricks around the side here, as you will be able to see into this side from a certain angle. I'm not sure what's going to be on this part here, but chances are it's going to be empty. And there'll probably just be a fence or something up along this part. But I thought it'd be good to have the snot bricks, so I continue the brick technique around this corner just here. However, if I want to, it's easy to change. We just pull those off and transfer those over to the snot bricks that have just got the 1 stud on the side, so not on 2 sides. But we're going to carry on experiment a little bit with the front side on there. And once we've made some more decisions, we'll then start looking at the interior. What I want to do is get the actual floor down as quickly as possible so that I don't have the problem of getting my hands in and knocking the walls about. And here we have the second version of the lower level of the Gcpd. Door in the centre, a window either side. One thing I have just decided though is it would be nice to have steps going up into the police station. So I need to raise this entire building up by 1 or 2 bricks. Luckily, it's right on a line of a mills plate. So for example, this peels off just here, so it's the next one back, so I can quite easily just raise the mills just where the actual building itself is. So I'm going to peel that off, put it up by a couple of levels, and then that's going to enable me to have this as a raised building. So then we'll be able to do some different brickwork just down the very bottom of that. So let's get that all raised up and see what it looks like. Here is the raised area, which is where I'm going to be putting the captain's office. So that will come up. It's very similar to how it was in the first Gcpd that I made. All of this here, the floor as well, it's all going to be done in the dark brown. And what I need to do is also put some clips into the wall here so that the holding cage can be attached to that. I think that's probably going to be the best place to have it. The other option is down on this bit here. As I said, this is based on the Gotham TV show looks wise, however the layout is nowhere near big enough to be there, so it may well be better off having it down here. Either way, let's carry on building it and we'll check back in once we make some more progress. And there we have the captain's office and the stairs which will be leading to the upper floor. I'll probably change these over to a reddish brown just so it looks better from all around. It is going to have the dark brown tiles on top of each step, as well as obviously all of the floor there. So we just need to make sure it looks right. I think the grey might stick out a little bit. Decided to go for the black windows and door frame in here, just purely to give it a little bit of contrast on the colour. And originally this wall here was one brick lower, however it was better to bring it up so the window looks a little bit better in that office as well. But anyway, let's carry on building and we'll check back in once we've made a bit more progress. Here we have the holding cells at the end of the GCPD. I'm really pleased with how they've come out. It's all using plates and the little clips, things like this here, just to hold all the bars in place. So the ones on the top have got them on 3 sides. The ones on the back, the front here that don't move have gone down the side and on the bottom, but the door ones, they've only got the hinges on the one side, so they can both open on either side. And there is actually a bar in the middle of it separating the two holding cells from each other. All we need to do now is work out where the tables are going to be going inside here, the desks and anything else like that. And then once we work those out, we can finally get that floor all tiled off. So let's work that out and then get the floor done. And here we have the front of the police station and the side as well. And I'm not liking the window sections around here. I think we do need to do a little bit more work on there. I did at one stage try putting 2 individual windows in. However, due to the tile technique on here and the fact that we don't get 1 by 1 of the ingots, it made it very difficult to have a gap in the middle. It was just using these here and it just didn't look right. So just going to have a little bit of an experiment with this section on both sides. I may even look at moving the door down as before so it's not central to the building, just to see what we can come up with. And here is the latest GCPD. And as you can see, I've changed the windows. We've now got 3 in each side with the curved tile in between. That's just one of these pieces just here, just to break it up. Again, it's one of these things I'm not sure how it's going to look until I've got a lot more on the building. So I may very well, again, come back to this and change that one more time. On the top here, I've put some snot bricks and then a two wide plate all the way along. And then I can add some details to this section here. What I'm going to do next is put some of the pavement down here and the steps around the door section just there. And there we have all of the pavements all put in and the steps leading up to the front of the police station. Need to find another one of these pillars out to go on the other side and get a couple of doors to go in there. Really pleased with how this has all turned out so far. Still lots to go on here and I've got to decide how I'm going to carry on building it up. I've still got plenty of these ingots. I could continue that style, or whether or not I go over to like a masonry brick, I'm not quite sure yet. And also need to work out where I'm going to be putting the letters GCPD. I think this building is going to be 3 stories high. Well, that's the intention at the moment. And I'm contemplating changing a little bit of the detail possibly on here just to add a little bit more life to it. It looks very continuous on the grey there, and I think it needs something on there just to break it up. So whether or not I put a pattern in here, I'm not sure. I will put a couple of trees in, I think, at some stage, and or like a waste paper bin, fire hydrant, all sorts of things like that. but there'll be plenty we can do to add details in once it's in the city and we know exactly where it's going. And here we have version 2 of the GCPD next to the fire station. These two buildings, they will be next to each other, or that's the plan at the moment, once we get the city set up properly. And I feel like the colours do go very well together with the dark pale grey and the dark tan. This building here, this floor, the next floor up is probably going to be about so high, so I'm going to carry on building this up. Then I'll put the row of tiles with the modified tiles on there, or the modified plates, and then the next floor will sit on that. I'm not doing the section that pulls off of the front like I did on my original GCPD. It's just going to be too much work, too complex, because of the fact I'm using all the snot bricks with the ingots on there. I'm sure there will be a way if I'm sort of like modified the look of it. However, it's taken me a long time just to get to that stage there, so it'd be nice just to leave that as it is. There is still a lot of decisions I need to make on this. I need to work out what I'm going to be doing at the back here. I want to cover that blue wall over, so I need to put something on the side of here. And I'm thinking that at the back there, the car park area is going to be undercover, and put some fences up along that side possibly. So a lot of decisions to be made with this, and it's going to be good fun doing so. The other thing I need to do is make sure that I can design a police car that's going to fit nicely in the back there, in the car park areas. But yeah, there it is. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the update. If you have, please give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. And if you share it with your family and friends, it'd be much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for popping by. See you next time. Bye for now.